We were in the Bitterroot Mountains of Montana and heading into Siamese Lakes. Third crossing. Not even 2 miles in yet. Crossing number 4. Initially, we planned on taking the West Fork Trail in, but a call to the ranger station let us know that the trail had been taken out by a landslide and it was impassable. So we decided to take Straight Creek up and over Chilcoot Pass and down into the lakes. To make a loop out of it, we'd hike along the Idaho Centennial Trail, then back down the North Fork of Fish Creek to Clearwater Crossing. It was early July, and there was plenty of water. Found a nice little campsite here. But we got more miles to travel. Well, we just stopped for 30-40 minutes. Nice break, nice campsite back there. And just as we were leaving, a ton of horses came through. Probably 10-12 horses, 8 riders. We got some horse riders clogging the trail. A lot of hats. Well, we caught the horses again. They gave us beers.
Horse people are good for one thing.
Blowdowns in the trail were slowing the horses quite a bit, and as we started to climb up the pass, we finally got by them. Well, we've started our hike up Chilcoot Pass. Steep, real steep. I got a long ways to go still too. Still working our way up the pass here. We might be within a half mile at the top. Really been tough. Well, if I had to guess, so that's the top. My legs are cramping, having a hard time. The day's hike was starting to take its toll on me, and even though I was hydrated and taking electrolytes, my legs were cramping and I was struggling to get up the pass. view from Chilcoot Pass.
It felt great to reach the top of the pass, and I thought that it would be easy sailing down into Siamese Lake. As it turned out, my struggles were just beginning, and it was going to get a lot worse before it got better. The cramping in my legs was getting worse. I was drinking as much water as I could and taking hydration tablets, but nothing seemed to be helping. It was a huge relief when Lower Siamese Lake came into view. It was going to be a very steep hike down to it, but I knew that I could grind it out from there. We made it down to the lake, and my struggles continued. We set up camp and got something to eat, and as I slipped into my hammock for the night, I was worried that I might be in some real trouble.
Yesterday was probably the toughest hike I've ever done. I had plenty of issues getting up over that pass. On the way up the pass, we had hiked 10 miles probably to get to the base of the pass. Going up, I started cramping. Made it to the top of the pass, got over, and just continued to cramp so much I had to stop and lay down. Made it to camp here, and probably wasn't here 5-10 minutes, and I threw up. Been trying to treat it ever since. I've eaten a ton, drank a ton, electrolytes. I'm a little worried about going over the divide today. It's 3,000 more up and down. About time to start packing up, and we'll see how this day is going to go. I am worried. I'm not 100%. Here we go. Across the divide.
I spent the morning eating and hydrating as much as I could, and as we pulled out of camp, I was feeling a little better.
Made it to FOLEY Basin. Fish Lake down there. Pass is over there. You can see FOLEY Basin and the West Fork drainage. We're on the Centennial Trail now, working our way across the Bitterroot Divide. I'm doing pretty good so far. We'll see how it goes though.
The Idaho Centennial Trail runs the length of the state, and in this section of the trail it runs along the Idaho-Montana border and is called the State Line Trail. It is incredibly scenic, with views stretching into both Idaho and Montana.
One of the unnamed ponds that feeds FOLEY Basin. Came right across the top of those cliffs.
It seemed like all the steps that I had taken that morning were working, and I was starting to feel stronger as we pushed north along the Bitterroot Divide. It was early in the fire season, but we could see the haze from the fires burning in Washington. It was an incredible hike, and I was loving every minute of it.
See the trail going up along that ridge. More climbing. That is the valley we walked up yesterday. And we came up this valley. And we hit Chilcoot Pass, which is right there in the middle. A sheer wall. first look at Goose. We're camping here tonight.
The trail dropped us into Idaho, and we'd spend the night at Goose Lake. The trip had completely turned around for me, and I felt great as we made camp and eased into the night. Maybe I had pushed myself a little too hard getting up over Chilcoot Pass, but I was proud of myself for making it along the divide and hiking another 14 miles that day.
Ready. We're going to drop into this drainage. Head back. Well, we're on our final hike out. Great night at Goose Lake. This hike should be the easiest one. We got a long drop, but it's all drop.
On the way down, we marveled at some of the old giants that were still there from the Great Burn of 1910.
This thing is completely hollow. We could get in there if we wanted. Finally down on the North Fork.
We hit our stride as we made our way down the last 13 miles of the trip.
North Fork of Fish Creek. Well, here's the junction where we turned off on Friday and started this crazy adventure. Home stretch now.
This was a challenging route, and it was the most miles that I've ever done in a trip. We definitely earned the cold beers that were waiting for us at the truck.
We survived it. This was a hell of a hike. Toughest one I've ever done.